Hello and welcome back to another installment of the beautiful gamepad here on the Lithium Project channel. I am Lithium Project, and it has been a few weeks since we last had a video up in our beautiful gamepad series. And mostly that is because I have been playing a lot of Final Fantasy IX, kind of mainlined that in about 10 days. And we had a fairly ungodly heatwave here in Ireland not too long ago that made wanting to record or sit in this room it's kind of unbearable, really. So took a few weeks off, and I think also after the kind of like barrage of ISS games that I did, it was nice to take a couple of weeks off, come back to it with a sort of renewed vigor as we move on to some other games. And I know there's still a couple of ISS games left to look at. We will get to them. Oh my word, why am I so tired? But we did break the back off of most of that series. So I wanted to, bounce around a little bit. And I realized, like, NES-wise, have we covered the NES? I don't actually know without going to look at the list. But if we have, it's only the one, I think. So this is Nintendo World Cup by Technos Japan. And licensed exclusively to Nintendo. Don't know a thing about it. Let's crack into it. It's very easy for me to just say, well, this is a Mega Man song. But that's a fucking Mega Man song, just saying. Oh my god, we got a password system. What is this? Legend of Zelda. You can always kind of think about like the time and place where games are made when you see West Germany. Just a thing to point out. I'm sorry, is this, where the fuck is this match taking place? Kilimanjaro? No, those positions look fine, thanks. Right, what plan will you use? What? Let's pass the ball. Yeah, love a bit of sweeper keeper. Should your teammates shoot? Wait, is this fucking like Libero Grande, but like 10 years earlier? Should your teammates shoot? Yeah, sure, why not? Mark the opponent. Oh my god, it's double drag. Oh my god, what's going on with that guy down there at the bottom? He's got a ditto face. Wait, what is this? Pass, okay. Yeah, this is fucking like... Oh my god, look at the character designs in these. This is crazy. Some of these designs are mad. Yeah, it's just like... Oh, that's pretty sick. Really interesting to take that direction, but like I can't go with some of these faces. Look at them. Tell you what, like the Japanese, they got no qualms about trying a football game and doing something a little bit different with it. This is pretty cool because I mean, I think it would be fair to say that, like the players move pretty well. The camera is a little bit too in your face, so like there's kind of a sense of motion sickness, I guess, to it. But like the way the ball moves feels really, like, shockingly good. For I think this is actually like very early 90s, maybe late 80s. I mean, it's a NES game, so. But the play movement's pretty solid. There is the flickering, but like, even Mega Man 2 has that. And I love Mega Man 2. but the ball physics are really solid. But it's like the fact that you've got actual like tactics, and or you can kind of say to your opponent like, hey, pass the ball. Or shoot. And this says I can't because you're too far away. That's really cool. I don't know why you wouldn't always want to have it on, though, that, like, your teammates can have a shot. Like, surely you'd always want to have that. Wait, is that fucking roundhouse kick? I think in terms of trying to judge where the ball goes is a little bit tricky. But I like that you can tell your teammates to actually do like slide tackles. That's very cool. It's very cool. And the actual like designs as well, you know, again, it's got very much like a kind of double dragon sort of thing going on. Which is really cool. Oh! It does, like, when you've got 2 or 3 people on top of the ball, it's very difficult to see, like, where the fuck everyone is. And where the ball actually is. I don't think there's anything in the way of, like, fouls or offsides. Which, you know, it's kind of fair. But, I mean, I guess if we want to look at some negatives, it feels quite easy. Like, actually because there's no fouls, like, you just get next to your opponent, to the opposition, you can just kind of, like, take him down. So it does, like, remove any sort of challenge there. Because in a game like this, typically... And it is kind of... Oh my god, he's down, he's injured. It can be quite tricky with, like, 2D games where it's a lot easier to, like, end up fouling your opponent because you're always kind of behind them, running from behind, and so therefore, like, game logic dictates you tackle from behind, therefore foul. Is he, like, down for the rest of the match now? Wait, have I got 2 of them down? Oh my god, I'm just wiping out the team. There's another one. It's just fucking, it's gonna be no one left. I wonder if there's like X amount of times you can tackle before like a player goes, yeah, fuck this. You got no one to, you got past the keeper. Yep, there we go. Fucking, I think that's the rest of the team out now. Oh, one more. Turn into Shaolin Soccer. Yep, there we go. Sorry, keeper, you're on your own. I mean, it's kind of interesting, but, like, if you don't have the option to, like, do subs, or... Alright, are they back now? Like, maybe they do come back, but, like, the time it takes for the recovery is kind of crazy. Fucking keeper. Where are my players? Where are my players? But yeah, like, you know, tackling is fairly kind of route one, so... There is a lack of strategy, you know, just bum rush the keeper. I mean, all my goals have been scored the same way, because the keeper sprite against the goal, it just makes it where you just kind of want to bum rush, like, get the save and then just have 2 or 3 players there. And you'll do alright. Okay, so the players will come back like when the game refreshes, or like after a goal is scored. It's a really cool approach. I think there's some fine-tuning I would do about the way that it works. Like, I wouldn't have players be wiped out for like the remaining time that the ball is in play until like the next time the ball goes out of play. I'd probably have him down for a few seconds at max. The thing with tackling and fouls and whatnot, again, it's really tricky to do that in a 2D game. It's certainly one that's like sideways like this, even, you know, kind of in an isometric view. 6-1 halftime. You know. Oh, you can change your halftime as well. Okay, let's mix it up then. So let's dribble. Goalkeeper shouldn't join in. No, I still want to shoot. Try to tackle. Fuck it. Yep. Oh, no, we didn't actually change halves. Like, what happens if I get wiped out? Do I have to wait until the ball goes out of play? I wish... And obviously there's only 2 buttons. But the fact that, like, you're always... Passes aren't like a direct low pass, it's always up in the air. And, the camera is a bit too... just a bit too... wild in terms of how it moves. And again, because of the 2D plane, it's always like hard to know exactly where you are on the axes to it. Gonna get to 10. Can I get to double digits? Might just see what the AI does. Like, does the AI have to wait for my commands? Like, would they just run off the pitch? I guess they're just going to end up getting stuck in the corner against the defender. So you probably have to make a decision at that point. Maybe if I wipe out the rest of their team, maybe I can see what might happen with the AI. It feels like it's impossible to shoot across goal. Like, it feels like the keeper is always going to save it. I think that was a volley. Oh, Jesus. He shot that into orbit. Alright, that was the low pass there. Interesting. It is possible. Come on, I'm here. Come in for a tackle. I mean, this guy looks terrified, in fairness. I can do this all day. I can do this all day. Alright. Again, I just don't think you can get a goal in this way. I wonder how the AI, like, does it wait until I run past a certain point that it triggers movement? That's quite fascinating. Why are you not, like... I'm here. Come for me. Come for me, bro. Did I break the game? I don't know. I think I've injured their players so many times that they're just kind of like, just leave me out of this. Oh, so these rounds need to be way shorter. I don't remember there being an option screen, but like, this type of gameplay, this should be 2 minutes and a half at most. What a weird little game. Oh, we still got one guy. Still got one guy who wants some. Can I clip you out of existence? Yeah, you can see, like, if I run away, then he kind of goes back to where his position is. So, you know, there's probably some ways that you can manipulate AI in a bunch of ways, which is, I guess, is kind of interesting. There we go, 9-1. What the fuck's the password for? Yep, they're the lads in orange. Has that guy had sunglasses on the whole time? Is he just that cool? Okay, so there's actual, like, yeah. So you actually go to their location and they throw in whatever geographical stereotypes and whatnot. Yeah, so I guess it's tournament mode. Look at this guy's got glasses on. They actually do wear glasses. I love the character designs. They're so they do give a lot of personality. I wonder actually if like the AI gets more difficult because it's a tournament thing. So yeah, I guess that was the first round. I hadn't considered that. Okay, well look, we don't want to get too carried away with that because you know we got the general idea. We got the general idea. But yeah, Nintendo World Cup. What an interesting little game. How to approach this in terms of what it is. So it is 1990. Okay. So gameplay wise, it's fairly Route 1. It's not that particularly complex, and even I could feel myself kind of by the end of that first round as like, all right, you know, everything that this game kind of has to offer, we've seen now. So it's quite like limited from that aspect. But for the short burst of it, it was enjoyable. Mechanics easy to pick up, and the fact that you only play as one player is actually quite unique for this time. I don't know if any of the other games that we played, like Konami Soccer or the Atari one, worked in a similar manner. I don't think they did. That is a very unique way to approach it, obviously, as we've seen with again, stuff like Libero Grande. I would much prefer if matches were 2 minutes per half. I think just because of the limited way of the gameplay, you know, you're doing 8 minutes per match, and it's just, you know, it's too much, it's too long. But the character designs are very charming. Again, they're that kind of Double Dragon sort of thing going on. I'm presuming it's the same development studio, would be my guess. And yeah, it's a much more kind of unique approach instead of just trying to do football in an 8-bit era where most of the times it doesn't really work. But it is a bit basic. It's not something I think I'd actively go back to. And as mentioned with the issues with removing stuff like fouls, and that takes away some of the challenge of like trying to time tackles and how actual feasible is that for this era of a football game. So, where does this go? I'm trying to look at some of the other 8-bit era or of that time type of game. I think Konami Soccer is the highest that we have that I think fits into that era. It looks like it. And then Tengen World Cup Soccer is next down, so they're not too far from each other. But I don't want to just compare games just directly against kind of the competition at that time. Like, if we can try and branch out a little bit to some degree, you know, like FIFA Soccer 96 obviously has certain limitations, but as a Game Boy game, it's actually still quite impressive for what it does. Ergo with FIFA Road to World Cup 98 as well. But, you know, it's definitely not going above any of the ISS games. I'd probably still play Konami Soccer, because I think there's just a little bit more depth and more, like, replayability to it. Yeah, I guess, like, replayability is kind of going to be the big thing here, because, like, systems-wise, everything's sort of in place, but I don't think I'd want to play it again, because it's just a little bit too limited. You see everything literally within that first match. Actually, quite a tricky one to figure out. Like, Tecmo World Cup 93 wasn't too bad, and FIFA Soccer 96 wasn't too bad. And then so like Real Sports Soccer, that was the one that was almost doing like the lane pushing thing, which was a really unique approach. But that again as well is like, I guess there's a novelty to that. In terms of the systems, like there's no other football game like that. Where, you know, in terms of like some of the aspects of this is again is a very kind of basic, bare bones, fundamental version of what would become Libero Grande. But do think that Real Sports Soccer does have the edge there. And I don't remember a thing about World Trophy Soccer, so therefore I think I'll put it just above you. I think that is a well-reasoned and logical conclusion to come to. Yeah, Nintendo World Cup Soccer. That was cool. I know it's obviously a bit far down, but look, there's a lot of good football games, and this is where we're at now. But I'm glad to have spent some time with it, and I'm glad to have spent some time with you doing another one of these videos. So, as always, if you enjoy this, please like, please subscribe, please tell me what football games you'd like to see. And we'll leave it there. So, for another installment of the Beautiful Gamepad, I've been Living Project. Thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.